In this video, we're going to be discussing a phenomenon known as optokinetic nystagmus. Now, if we just look at this last term, nystagmus, what is that? Well, nystagmus is a general term that describes rapid beating of the eyes. If you want more detail on exactly what nystagmus is and see real-life examples of people's eyes beating like this, I have another video on my channel where we go into that in much more detail. Check that video out. It will be in the description of this video. But understand that nystagmus can manifest in multiple ways. You can have horizontal nystagmus, where the eyes beat left or right. You can have vertical nystagmus, where the eyes beat up and down. And you can also have rotational or rotary, also called torsional nystagmus, where the eye actually rotates either clockwise or counterclockwise. Now, nystagmus is something that we often see in people's eyes during certain tests of the oculomotor exam. So for example, if you do the vertigo diagnostic tests like the Dix-Hallpike maneuver or the horizontal roll maneuver and you see nystagmus, that generally means that the person has benign paroxysmal positional vertigo or BPPV. If you see nystagmus during any one of the central oculomotor tests, well then it suggests the presence of a central vestibular deficit. If you see the nystagmus during peripheral oculomotor tests, it suggests the presence of a peripheral vestibular deficit, also called a hypofunction. So that must mean that nystagmus is a bad thing, right? Not necessarily. Optokinetic nystagmus is a normal kind of nystagmus that generally only presents in specific situations, and those situations really fall into one of two categories, A and B right here. So A, when you have moving objects passing quickly by a static onlooker with certain regularity. So for example, if you were statically standing 50 feet from a quickly moving train and watching the individual train cars go by, you would actually present with optokinetic nystagmus, and that's a normal thing. And then B, a moving onlooker, that is a quickly moving onlooker, passing by a number of stationary objects. An example of this would be you're a passenger in a quickly moving vehicle, and you're looking out the window at a series of posts that are sticking out of the ground, and those posts are generally at regular intervals. You would also present with optokinetic nystagmus here. And so in that optokinetic nystagmus, there's a regular, rapid nystagmus of both eyes that should be symmetric. So whatever happens in the left eye happens in the right eye and vice versa. Okay? Now we'll cover this in a little more detail in the next few slides, but when you're assessing for normal optokinetic nystagmus, you're looking for the following features. So one is symmetry, and the other is the direction of the nystagmus. So in general, both eyes should move in exactly the same way. That's the symmetry. If there's an asymmetry in the optokinetic nystagmus, that rules up a neurological disorder, including a central vestibular deficit. So if optokinetic nystagmus is asymmetric between the left and right eyes, well then it could indicate damage to the brain. It could indicate a neurological condition like MS or ALS. It could indicate a central vestibular deficit or motion sickness, which technically falls under central vestibular deficits. But motion sickness is a very particular, very specific kind of central vestibular deficit that optokinetic nystagmus retraining is often used for. If there's symmetry of the optokinetic nystagmus between the eyes, but there's still vestibular symptoms, well then it's probably not something related to the central nervous system. It rules up some kind of inner ear or cervicogenic condition like BPPV or a hypofunction or even cervicogenic dizziness or cervicogenic migraines. Okay, so that's the symmetry argument. But then also the eye movement, that is the fast beat of the nystagmus, should be in the opposite direction as the quickly and regularly moving stimulus. So let's take a look at this in a little more detail here. Now, there are multiple methods to test for normal optokinetic nystagmus, but I'm going to cover two of the easiest to perform. And the first is called the striped drum method. And you can see the striped drum over there on the right side of the screen. This is a cylinder with evenly spaced black bars. And the striped drum is placed either horizontally or vertically in front of the patient and spun at a constant rate. So you see this handle down here, that's held by the practitioner, by the examiner, and it allows them to essentially just rotate or spin around this striped drum. So in this case, if we held it like this, and you're looking at it, it would either spin left or it would spin right. And so that would allow us to look at horizontal optokinetic nystagmus. And remember that the direction that the bars are moving, so if the bars are really moving left, well then the nystagmus you should see beating right. Okay, we'll look at that in just a minute. And then if we turn this 90 degrees on its side, we can vertically spin it and assess for vertical optokinetic nystagmus. We technically don't use the term contralateral for the beating there because contralateral refers to left and right. But again, the nystagmus should always be in the opposite direction as the moving stimulus. Let's now take a look at the striped drum method. Now from her perspective in this clip, those black bars on the striped drum are moving to her left. So if the moving stimulus is to the left, what direction would the fast speed of the nystagmus be for that optokinetic nystagmus? Well, it would always be contralateral. So here I've just zoomed in on the same clip on her eyes, and you can see there that the fast beat of the nystagmus is to her right. You can also see that both her eyes are doing the exact same thing, so they're symmetric. So there's symmetry between the eyes, and the fast beat of the nystagmus is in the opposite direction as the moving stimulus. So this would be normal optokinetic nystagmus. Now in this case, we've rotated the striped drum 90 degrees, and now we're looking at vertical movement of those bars. From her perspective, what direction are those black bars moving? Well, they're actually moving vertically. From our perspective, they look like they're moving down, but from her perspective, they're actually moving up. And again, if we look at the fast beat of that nystagmus, we see that it's beating downward. Okay? Both eyes appear to be doing the same thing, so there's symmetry, and the movement of the eyes, that is the fast beat of the nystagmus, is in the opposite direction as the moving stimulus. So once again, this would be a normal optokinetic nystagmus response. The second method to test for normal optokinetic nystagmus is the vertical bar video method. And this method utilizes a video of either horizontally or vertical black bars separated evenly and moving in some direction at a constant rate. So if we look at this top one, the black bars are horizontal, and so the movement of them is either down or up. If we look at this one on the bottom, the black bars are vertical, so they're either going to be moving left or right. And you can find these videos on YouTube, and I actually have them on my channel, and I'll put a link to all 4 of them in the description of this video. And when you're utilizing these videos, the individual being tested focuses their gaze on a point, normally right at the center of the video screen, so either there or here, and the examiner checks for normal optokinetic nystagmus once the video starts playing. And remember, you're always checking for the fast beat of the nystagmus and making sure that it's occurring in the opposite direction as the stimulus movement. Let's take a look at one of these just as an example. This is one of my optokinetic nystagmus retraining videos that can also be used for testing for a normal response. What you see here are a bunch of vertical black bars that are separated evenly. And in just a minute, when I click the video, you're going to see that they're going to be moving to the right. Okay? I have another video where they move to the left, and then 2 other videos where they are horizontal bars moving up and down respectively. So when you're testing for normal optokinetic nystagmus, you have the person focus on a single point, maybe where my mouse is right there, right at the center of the video screen. And they just focus there. They can blink, but they have to keep their gaze right here. And once the bars start moving, they're not intentionally looking from bar to bar to bar. This is more of a reflexive type of phenomenon. So as long as the person is just looking directly at this point right here and not shifting their gaze intentionally, you should still see that optokinetic nystagmus. Okay? And so again, focus right on this point right here. So the examiner simply looks in the person's eyes and assesses for normal optokinetic nystagmus. Now, what is a normal response? Well, first of all, the eyes should be symmetric. They should be doing exactly the same thing. So that's the first thing. And then number 2, remember that the moving stimulus here, which are these vertical black bars, they are moving to the right. So what direction should the fast beat of the nystagmus beat? Always the opposite direction, toward the left. So as long as you have both of those things satisfied, the person has normal optokinetic nystagmus. Now, Regardless of which of these two methods you're using for testing, either way they are extremely convenient because you can easily take that test and transform it into a treatment using the exact same materials, whether it's the striped drum or these videos. And we're going to be discussing that more in the next video, how you actually do that specifically, how you dose it, etc., etc. But between these two methods, this one, the vertical bar video method, is much more convenient of the two, turning it into a treatment, because all you need is a computer or your phone, preferably a computer, and just the ability to pull up these videos. If you're going to do the striped drum method and turn that into a treatment, well, you either have to restrict that to just in session, or the person has to go out and actually purchase that striped drum, and that's a little bit inconvenient, and it's obviously going to cost something. So generally speaking, when we retrain people for optokinetic nystagmus, or really just use it for treating motion sickness, we'll usually just do the vertical bar video method, as you see right here.
Thank you for all your support. Be sure to check out my Instagram for cool science and not science stuff.